Recognize Mr. Moore for his 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it very much. So question for the Comptroller, Dodaro. Just the chairman's talked about this. I just want to go back to it real quick. So in 2018, you issued this letter here to Senator Hatch in a legal decision that GAO's role is essentially complete once the executive submits a rule to Congress. Is that correct?
Yeah, as it relates to the Congressional Review Act submissions. But we have other roles that we have, which include responding to requests from Congress
Right,
for clarifications.
But you stated in a legal decision that the GAO's role is essentially complete once the executive submits a rule to Congress. Is that correct?
That's correct as it relates to CRA. But what I'm saying is we also have other responsibilities to respond by statute to requests from committees and members of Congress for legal decisions. Anybody asks for a legal decision from GAO, we give it to them.
Right.
I mean, as a service to the Congress.
Then I'm trying to understand then why it seems that your actions in this case as it relates to the Clean Air Act waiver for California EVs mandate seems opposed to that decision.
Well, it's not opposed to that decision. I mean, basically what it does is explain that decision. We were asked to clarify our previous legal decisions, which you could argue is an extension of our CRA responsibilities. And so all we were asked to do is to, in the context of what was submitted, to explain our previous decisions. The parliamentarian is the one that decides whether or not the issue gets put to a vote in the Congress. That's not our role. Our role is to answer questions from the Congress and to clarify things. And when we're asked to clarify a previous legal position, I think it's important for us to be able to do that, as opposed to having other people try to interpret our previous legal decisions.
Can I ask you, have you ever spoken to the Senate parliamentarian
I have not, but my staff has.
about this issue specifically?
I don't think we had any conversation. Let me just check.
You did not speak with parliamentarian on this issue, right?
No, we did not talk to her on this particular issue.
But other issues?
Well, if she asked for,
Does she have to engage you or do you engage her?
it can happen either way depending on the issues, but typically we respond to her questions if she has questions on any of our material.
You
We
probably not
don't
able-
have an ongoing relationship with the parliamentarian, if that's what you're asking.
And so you're probably not able to answer this now, but if there's previous interactions in between GAO and the Senate parliamentarian, maybe I'd submit a question for the record that they could answer later as it relates to what was the substance, context, and nature of those conversations. I'd be curious to know. And then, I mean, you stated this, but the purpose of the CRA, and this is in your letter, is to strengthen congressional oversight of agency rulemaking. That's a quote. GAO decided that because the agency had submitted the rule, Congress is, and I quote, able to fully exercise its review and oversight authorities under CRA and therefore takes no position on whether the action by the agency constituted a rule. Do you agree that precedence in this space is crystal clear? GAO does not issue legal decisions after an agency has submitted a rule to Congress?
That's correct. This isn't a legal decision that we did. It's a clarification of a previous legal decision we did. It's not a new legal decision.
But would you say it's fair to characterize that the parliamentarian's determination is taking it as a legal decision because of the action that she is taking?
I can't speak for the parliamentarian. All I can do is say, if a member of Congress comes to us and asks us to explain a previous legal decision, I'd be hard-pressed to say, no, I can't do that. I mean, we're just responding to help Congress. We're not trying to, influence things one way or the other. We're nonpartisan. We're asked a question, we give an answer. And it doesn't matter who it is.
Well, I do have some reports outstanding that have been, folks that have submitted questions that are They've been out there for like over a year. But this one got turned around in 10 days.
Well, it's because it was all.
It's amazing.
Well, not really. Basically, all we're doing is explaining something we already did before. Most of these other requests are asking for original work where we got to go to the agency and get their opinions and other things. In the case of somebody explaining something of an opinion you've already given, it should be turned around quickly. I don't get very many complaints from Congress about being timely,
Well, this seems to be the only one that was. That's why it's curious.
It's not the only one where we're timely. It's the only one I gotten complaints on lately. But I'm just saying, our responsibility is to every member of the Congress. Congress is an institution. If somebody asks us a question, we're going to give them an answer.
So obviously, as we've talked about, you understand the complications around this issue as it relates to all this. Would you be willing to rescind that decision or opinion?
No.
No. Would you be willing to provide something in writing that maybe provides some more clarity around it?
Be happy to. If you submit a question for the record, be happy to answer.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
All right, if there are no further